knife. Sonny Umpa said that too, is the knife is beautiful, but it can be dark immediately. And really what that means is once you defend yourself physically, you're going to have to defend yourself criminally, civilly, and legally. So morally and ethically, you also have to answer those questions. Did I need to be there? Did I have to use that much force? Wow, what was wrong with that psycho? You know, so you have to make those decisions before you step out of your car, before you step out of your house, before you enter that neighborhood. If it's not your neighborhood, be well aware that it's somebody else's and you're the intruder. So all those things are factors of awareness, and those are some of the elements we train martial skill for. Let's go blade to blade for just a second. I'll go reverse grip, he'll go standard. And as we come into a high thrust line, I'm meeting the force on an evasive line. Okay. Also, I can meet it with the passing, so that my cut's already there. See, it doesn't take much to be an eye shot. Ideally, traditionally or classically, you have different maneuvers such as this, right? So if I go standard, I could utilize the same thing. That's already a cut. That's already positional control. So I'm turning, returning to sender, okay? On an empty hand line, it's a similar line. If we get that lucky, right? I'm here, that's a nut shot, and we're rolling out, and then we're going into our catch or our pick. The wrist grab, the rotation, is no different than a retracted karate punch. You're rotating through. Once you're here, there's your access. So that's an inside karate block. If you see this here, let's go back again. Just the palace or the passing energy. If you look at, I insert that with an inside block. I follow it to the down block, and then I rotate it back into an outside block, and that's when I step inside to bind. Now he could slash my belly, and that's when I want to let it go to the outside. I'm not going to shoot in here and grab an armbar and try to wrestle this guy. I'm going to take something that he can't afford to lose, like his vision. Something that's going to want him to deal with immediately. Oh, my eye! And I can target those eyes pretty efficiently, okay? So I've got my limitations, but I have to know those limitations. So here we go. One more time with a couple things here. Is on the deployment, I come inside. There you go. You're already where you need to be. If this punch comes through, I can intercept that and then close in, right? Secondary shot again. I'm here. Punch comes through. I can intercept that, go here, stab the leg, come across, insert wherever I need to. I'm a big advocate of passing because I don't want to intercept per se. I want to get the weapon past me so that I can deal with the outside perimeter of the body. Neutralizing is secondary tools. Retraction, all those things are a factor. One of the things you train with knife for is to understand the movements of what the limitations are. Bottom line is, if he's after you, and there's a reason for him to come at you with intent, you need to neutralize it by doing what you have to. Take his eyes, take his throat, take his knees, take his mobility, take his motivation and desire. You're going to get cut. There's no question about it. How bad you get cut is going to be based on your perceptual skills and your ability to make decisions right now, be able to decipher between what the threat is and deal with it. That's about it, guys. Right on.
Question down to.
Yes, sir.
We've got a lot of Filipino martial artists who are probably watching this.
Sure,
and,
wow.
You know, they're classically trained and all that stuff. You talk about reality-based training. I mean, you're not going to see a guy in the street who's going to start doing all kinds of, what are some of the basic things that they need to know about a reality-based knife attack, angles, or even just some tools that you say is the most simple and simple wins rather than coming out and...
Sure. I think the key thing there is perimeter control. That's one of the key things. One of the guys, one of the reasons the laws was passed in Seattle that he can't even carry a small folder is guy was coming out of a Seahawk game or a Mariners game or something. They got right up to the curb on the street. This guy just came up behind him and bam, 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 shanked him and killed him right there on the spot. Bottom line, how are people getting behind you? How is it you're not aware of it? What's so important that you need to be the first one in the front? I keep the old John Wayne rule of thumb. If I go to a restaurant, a tavern, any place where I'm going to be exposed to public, I try to back to the wall. I try to not walk past corridors that have open entries. I try to stay clear of vehicles that are parked and somebody could come out. all those things are factors. So, you know, the awareness, if you can't see his hands, who's around you, where they're at, protect your family, protect your friends. You're a bodyguard 24/7. So common sense is probably the key. One of the things that isn't cultivated in martial arts is common sense, and asking questions and then trying to find those answers. It's a short video clip. We're just addressing a few things, but yeah, common sense is really a key factor. Instructors like Belton, Ian Allen, one of the NSI guys. There's so many people out there. Ray Floral, Jim Keating. There's a lot of people out there in this industry that have better advice than me, just as good advice. However you look at it, you have to decide who you want to teach, who you want to be your teacher, and then go get it. And then, even then, it has to be yours. You have to make it your own. It has to be functional. Hope that helped.